Doesn't seem to be working. Camera, why are you not working? That one. Huh. Yeah, the camera's plugged in. It just doesn't seem to. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. That should be working. Well, we can share the screen. Oh yeah, but it's like
presenting. Yeah.
Because I yelled, but okay. Okay, so just for those of you who weren't here quite yet, can you please upload your presentation into Google Drive? You're going to have to upload that in this folder. If you go to the training section, there's a folder, you can click on it, and then just upload it into here like all these times people have done. Just start off the training. We're just going to pull up the timeline real quick. Does anybody know what week it is this week? 7. Yes, it is week 7. So we're doing, what's due this week is a PowerPoint methodology slide. So that's why we're doing this presentation. And we all get to learn about each other's projects, which are fun, as well as we get to kind of critique and help each other create better slides. Next week is week 8. The goal is to be about 90% done collecting data by the end of week 8. So try to shoot for that. Somebody's right now, hopefully by the end of this week, you're 75% done with collecting data. So still kind of beginning of week. Monday was a holiday, so that's okay. So you guys might come in a little bit behind, and that's totally fine. That's kind of where we want to be for week 8. Week 9, we want the data to be done collecting, so we can start moving into the analysis part and creating a presentation and whatnot. So that's just kind of the calendar. So we're going to hop right into things, just because we have a lot of presentations to give. The basic procedure is that each team, once we pick your team, whatnot, come up to the front, and then just 3 minutes you'll have to talk. If it takes 2.5 minutes, that's fine. If it takes 2 minutes, that's fine. Just 3 minutes is the maximum. We have a timer and it'll beep. And then after that, there's going to be 2 minutes that you guys can ask questions to them. Like, I don't understand what that meant. That was confusing. You can make recommendations like, that slide was very wordy. You might want to trim it down, or that slide wasn't very clear, or whatever it might be. That bullet point, whatever. I don't know. And then we're just going to go that 2 minutes. So that's 5 minutes each. And we're just going to quickly roll through these all so we have time for everybody to present. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Does anybody want to go first? Do we have any just like eager teams?
Sure, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geometry?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are up. I am going to open these as if they were Google Slides.
I think I'm the only one here from my group.
So yeah, and there's a couple of stuff like that. So the formatting might look a little bit odd because we're converting into Google Slides. So
You want me to stand up there with you?
yeah.
That's fixed.
Cool.
So yeah, just if you want, come in and put it in the next slide.
All right.
I'm
Well,
pretty good.
pretty soon, because we're doing a project for GearTree. It's a peer-to-peer rental startup. So she doesn't really have an idea exactly of how to run this whole thing. She wants to get a lot of information. So you can go to the next slide to give us some. Our overall goal is to find out for her if this idea is locally feasible here in Rexburg, and if it'll be a profitable service. How many people are actually going to use it? If it's going to be something that's super competitive, or if it's going to be something that we can actually take advantage of the market. So we have one of the ways we jumped into this is she wanted to find out. Our client's name's Eliza. Eliza wanted to find out a lot about the legality, to find out if this is actually something that's possible to do without too many complications when it comes to the legal aspect. And so our first initial action was contact local lawyers to kind of find out if they have any experience with this kind of platform. So we wanted to find out if people are gonna be able to rent gear, like outdoor gear, like snowboards, bikes, or whatever from their peers, and not have to worry too much about legal issues. So we were wondering about insurance or waivers. And so we talked to some lawyers, and they told us to go and talk to people who actually run this kind of business and see what they do. So we talked to Sled Shed to find out what they do, and they're on a waiver basis. And that was kind of the recommendation for the lawyer as well. So we're kind of finding out that going into this, it'll be cheaper because it'll just be a waiver instead of insurance. So that's good. So the conclusion that we came up with, the legality, was just write up a waiver for both parties, the one who's renting and the borrower and the one who's lending. And then we looked up competition a little bit. So we've got Spinlister, which is actually one it's a peer-to-peer rental for bikes and snowboards and stand-up paddleboards and surfboards and all that. And they're successful. So they're actually still up and running. They've been up and running since 2011. Common Gear was one that was less fortunate. It was just a friend and two friends, and they one day said, "Hey, let's start this because no one's doing it." And so they kind of went for it, and they kind of did it like halfway. So they didn't give everything they could, and so it actually didn't turn out that well for them. They had a really hard time finding customers, and they didn't really follow a lot of feedback they got from venture capital firms to make it better, and so they ended up phasing out 2.5 years after they started. And then so as far as the profitability comes, we want to find out, if people are actually going to use this. So we're starting to send out surveys through Facebook. There's a lot of groups here in Rexburg, so we're kind of just doing this locally to find out if people are interested. And these are kind of the questions that we have, like the things that we want to find out based on our questions or survey. Who's going to use this app? How often will they use it? How many people will use it? When will they use it? Why will they use it? And how much are they willing to spend? So that way we'll be able to see if this is really actually something that people are going to be using here in Rexburg, or if it's not really worth Eliza's time and money.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, so now any comments, questions that you guys have? Things that you think that he could improve on it?
That's why I went first.
Nothing. So this is just the perfect. Can't get any better.
I mean, he's still single.
No,
he's engaged.
Okay. So something that I kind of saw is it wasn't really super clear. Like the methodology wasn't really super clear exactly like how you went about finding, say, those competitors, or how you may have gone about the legality procedure. Like how many lawyers did you talk to? Was it just one guy? Was it two guys? What do they specialize in? So I would try to outline after the goal the procedure that you went through to kind of do each part.
Okay.
And that goes with, it doesn't happen that I'm talking about that now, but for all you guys, try to have a very outline like procedure so that somebody else could then go a year later, read your methodology, and then say, okay, I'm going to replicate that. I'm going to go contact 5 lawyers, and I'm going to go, do this type of search, find the competitors, and repeat the study basically. So make it repeatable. We want a good methodology slide. So, but that was great. That was all good. Anybody else have anything else? Comments? No? Okay. Okay. Anybody want to go next? Yeah? What? Family, right? Okay. Oops. And I always such a bad typer. I didn't go to typing class when I was a kid. Okay, family friendly.
The camera's right there. Okay, you want to start? You can start. So we work with a company called Family Friendly Tampa Bay. They're based out of Tampa Bay, Florida. And Paulina will tell you what we're working on and how we're working with them.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about our main methodology. So our internship, it's a little bit different than most of the internships because, okay, first we don't collect data, as many of you. So what we do is that every Thursday, we meet with our client and we catch up with her, and then we go over the last week assignments, and we receive new assignments for the upcoming week. So that's what we do every Thursday. Then every week we delegate one to two people to the projects that we have been assigned. So, like, I don't know, like we meet, and then we say like, okay, like you're gonna do this and this and this. So we delegate.
Yeah, we usually meet like 2 times a week as a group, other than the meeting with our client. So.
And then we also meet and message with each other as team members to go over the projects through the week. So basically every week it's different. Like every week we're working on something different and we need to finish it like before Saturday morning. So every week we're working on something different, and like
we have deadlines this week.
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to go to the next slide?
So basically the biggest event they have is like this summer camp exposition. This is the second year they do that, and this year it's going to be on March 24 and April 7. And basically what we have done with this summer camp exposition is to research the competition and make a comparative analysis about what they are doing and what Family Friendly Tampa Bay could do in order to make better than the competition. And this is the flyer they have. So they are basically, or what they want is to improve social media and their website in order to have many people attending to this event.
Yeah, next slide. So basically what we've done so far, some of the projects they've given us, we've had to do blog posts for them. So we had to come up with like 10 different ideas, and they chose like 1 or 2. And we've all been kind of like helping each other write the blog posts for their website. We've helped with their press release. We came up with some ideas for them, did a couple press releases. They had us do an event calendar on like 40 different websites. We had to go through and copy and paste, like saying, hey, this Summer Camp Expo is coming up on the 24th. It's free. Bring your kids. Come find out about all the different summer camps in one spot. We've had to do competitor analysis. We had to research all their competitors' websites, and actually, like their biggest competitor decided to throw the same Summer Camp Expo on the same day. So we had to come up with things that like they are doing good, things we're doing good, things they aren't doing good, things we aren't doing, just a competitors analysis. We've had to come up with media contacts for them to contact so they can either go on the radio, go on the news, like find out when the best time to contact them. We had to get all their information about the media contacts. We've had to research and give them an analysis of how to increase their SEO, which is their search engine optimization. Let's see, one of our teammates, Noelle, she's super good at working with, what's it called, design. So she's working on their magazine. Yeah, so basically we've had to do a bunch of research for them, different things every week. So
yeah, so you guys are kind of in
it's interesting.
A little different project because it's very week by week based.
Yes.
So do you guys have any questions for them or comments? Yeah. Well, one question I have: are you guys going to be presenting your findings in a presentation format? Or are you guys just going to, it's just assignments and then that's kind of it? Is it just like
so our student mentor told us to go and make like a big Word doc of like what we've done, explain what we've done, and then if it's like a Word document or an Excel thing, have it like so you can like link it to the Word doc and go over to that.
Yeah.
So that's basically what is the only thing that we know. that we're supposed to be doing right now.
Okay, so you guys aren't gonna like present your, yeah, because it's not really research. So this is
Yeah,
kind of, each project's very, very different. So,
yeah. So we've just been working like crazy every week.
very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Who wants to go next?
We'll go next.
Yeah, what type of TV you guys?
Love
Love? This is more of a typical project, so this.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. So our project is Love Family Piano. It's a school here in Rexburg that teaches piano lessons or like even all kinds of instruments to basically anyone like 16 and under. But it's just like a little piano school, and he's expanding really fast, and he wants to see if it's a good idea to open up another school in the Ammon area or Idaho Falls area. So that's our job, is to do the research to see if that's feasible for him, and if that area even needs or wants to have another school. So what we've done so far is we've done some competitor analysis for that area, develop a market survey. So we launched a survey for people in that area for if they want a new music school. And we're developing a marketing plan for second location as well. Doing this one too. Okay. So the two big competitors are Chess Pro and Piano Gallery. Chess Pro offers a variety of musical instruments. The teachers are contracted. Pricing varies per teacher. Average pricing is $20 for half hour. Guitar is the most taught instrument. The piano is the second most taught. And something else we learned is that the way they set up their music lessons is a lot different than Love Family Piano. And the other place is Piano Gallery. They have a lot of music lessons as well, and they offer a program for preschool age students, and their teachers are hired.
Okay, so what we realized is that we need to find out a way to gather data to be able to find out if this is feasible to open a second location. So we identified some key questions that we felt we needed to gather from the public to understand what they were really looking for, what the demand was. So we developed certain questions with the survey logic, and we're able to come up with a few results so far. We launched the survey actually today. We were using different channels to be able to get the survey out. We decided we started Facebook and used different pages that are public down in Idaho Falls, Ammon area, like Idaho Falls for Sale, different public groups within Idaho Falls. So we've had a few results already rolling, and it's been really, really helpful already to look at the data. Yeah, that was just kind of building off what I was saying.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
So what our client wanted us to do, if it were feasible to open up a second location, is to find out where would be the best location. So over the weekend, I've come up with a lot of questions to ask some real estate agents to be able to find out what would best be in our interest. And Austin has come up with a map. If you go on to the next slide. And it shows some of the different businesses. And if you want to go ahead and explain a little bit more, Austin.
I think we're on time.
Yeah, that was your time.
Oh man.
Oh man. I'm sorry. So any questions or comments you guys have about their project or about some type of slide that you saw? Yeah.
Yeah, go back to the big grid slide. I'd like to see how that survey works. So for each survey question, what do you enjoy about the private lesson experience? So down on February 20th, that was one of the answers you received.
Yes.
And then down on February 20th again, 2:30, that was one of the answers you received.
Yeah.
Yes.
So answer. Exactly.
Right.
It's kind of like a.
So then this question, which musical instrument do they play? Select all that apply. So
It's not the order like it goes in, but like, so there's just the way it's displaying is like, it's just how it happens to show up. But the question normally that we ask first is anybody within your home playing musical instrument right now? And then they have like a slide chart where they can show how many, and it says how many take private lessons, right? And then if they're satisfied with their private lessons that they're taking, then they write, this is why I'm satisfied, or if they're not satisfied, and that's why they share. Like, this is what my experience is, and this is what could be better.
Okay, and they didn't, none of them really shared how it could be improved except for one.
Yeah.
And this is all anonymous, so there's no names or anything with it, and they understand that.
Sure.
Are they filling it out online, or are you filling it out as they answer on the phone?
They're filling it out online. It's through Qualtrics.
Okay.
And so they're able to take it through online. And at the end, there's a question that asks if they're interested in receiving any more information regarding potential lessons in the future. And so they put down their email if they are interested. They're also entered into a raffle to win a $25 gift card to Amazon if they are interested.
Okay, so because I'm unfamiliar with Qualtrics,
Yeah. Okay.
did you design this, or you just build in something that Qualtrics already had designed?
Yeah. No, we designed it using the Qualtrics logic. Our client was pretty specific about some of these questions, but like they would see this one. How can they improve? There's one that says how they can be improved, and the one that says like, what did it say? What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy? Yeah. Like they wouldn't see both questions. It would be based on what they answered before.
I see.
Then they get one of these. So that's why probably more of these are blank than this one. So it just, depending on their question, it leads to a different question.
That part is called
Qualtrics, yeah, that's the name of it.
Qualtrics, what? You use Qualtrics something to design this?
Yeah.
Qualtrics,
Yeah.
Logic, you said 2 words.
Oh, logic, yeah, that's,
Qualtrics logic, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's two types of principal logic in Qualtrics. There's skip logic, and then there's show logic. So you can show things based on something, or you can skip things based on something.
That's really
That makes sense.
But logic is a tool that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can gain free access to Qualtrics as a student to be able to do all the information.
Because it's super expensive. So I thought the presentation was really good. So I would kind of like to see is again a slide that kind of outlines exactly your procedures that you went to, like how did you guys find out those competitive analysis? Was it just a Google search? If so, stated how many firms did you find total? How did you go about researching it? If there's a website, then just say like their official website. If you went to like Facebook groups, then their website and Facebook groups or whatever it might be, would be nice to. And how many people took the survey and all that types of things inside that methodology. Like we did a survey on Facebook to these groups, X, Y, Z, and we got 50 results from that.
It's still going on.
Yeah, it's still going on. Yeah, so aware of that, but just like it's just an add-on once you guys.
Yeah,
have that
absolutely.
information.
For sure.
Yeah. Anything else people have comments or? No? Okay. Then we will continue on.
We'll go ahead.
Yeah. What group are you guys? What? Sorry. They raised their hands for.
Do you want to go first?
I need to realize that's cool. I'm seeing you guys more time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let you go anyways, but I just want to make sure you're sure.
Okay. Wait.
So pretty good.
Were you guys?
You know that one, yeah.
Okay. Super. Okay.
I was going to. I didn't want anymore.
Oh. Well, it doesn't mess up your formatting too much.
He doesn't want to go next.
You guys want to go next?
Yeah.
And you guys are Meadows Living?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh, you're at?
All right, so we are working on StuCamp, which is a company that is marketing textbooks basically. It's so that students can feel like they're a part of the textbook, and they use like videos and conferences and a bunch of different other things for students. Next
Yeah.
slide.
They just reach out to a bunch of different colleges for that.
Yeah, so our scope is basically just, he wants to focus on business management and marketing. So we want to develop a list of those professors across the United States and survey them in order to determine material that they want in certain courses and for their textbooks.
What we've done, extremely simple, just 2 things that we've been focusing on. One, we just go to a bunch of different web pages at different colleges and look up these professors, all their contact information. We're just using a Google spreadsheet. We're putting all this information in about them and their email address. And the second thing that we're going to start doing as well, and we've already started doing the survey, is
send out a survey and it'll start talking about like how their students are liking it, and it just has a list of questions, which is what we're going to get to in a few weeks.
So just some issues we're running into, that there's the professors' informations aren't always listed, and there are so many professors in so many schools that we have to, we only want like around 500 names, which is a lot, but to narrow it down from the entire United States is kind of hard. And there's also a random issue in there because we're just kind of picking and choosing. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
And so this, right now we're at about 300 emails. Our goal is at least 100 this week, hopefully finish it out by the end of this week because we want to be about 90% done with all the research. We want to finish that out and start sending out the surveys. But it is a lot more difficult because there's 50 states and he doesn't care where they're coming from. He just says, get 50 emails with marketing and management professors. I think that's it.
Any questions, comments, things like that? Yeah.
So are these professors who are already using it or who might use it? Like, are you asking them if they would be interested in using it, or are you reviewing how they like the product? Like, do they already have it? Or?
No, they don't already. Well,
Okay.
some could have it and some don't. We're just asking any professor that's in the Department of Marketing and Management and seeing what they think about it.
We're mainly evaluating how their students are learning and how they feel about the textbooks, things like that. And so it's apart from student, we're just seeing how they're liking the learning process and how their students are adapting to it. And then we're going to get our foot in the door through that.
So the survey then go to those 500 emails that you guys are getting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we'll probably send that out 2 or 3 times. Hopefully get a response by then. Any questions?
No better way to find out what your customer wants than talking to them. So. Yeah, your time's up. Huh? Nobody else? Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay, you guys were
Meadows Living.
All right.
There we go. All right. So this is a really, really cool project. At first, I think it was the one I didn't want to do it all on the survey, but it ended up being a really, really cool project. You can flip to the next slide. So our client, Michelle, we talked with her and they got a very specific scope of what she wanted us to do. And they're a assisted living and memory care facility. They're expanding and they want to know whether memory care or assisted living would be better for their expansion. And so to do that, we have to research, I didn't put the right order, but we have to research the competition and how much availability there is, the labor available, and the cost of construction maintenance. Next, please. So what we're doing is every week we're updating Michelle with our current research. We're making plans for the next week of research. Every Monday we have our meeting. And then we're going to make a timeline schedule now that we have more of a scope and we have our full team. We're going to make a timeline to make sure we have everything done when we say we're going to have it done with specific assignments. With our research, most of it's going to be a cost-benefit analysis. We're going to find out the information and figure out if it's going to cost too much for them to run it. If they have enough labor, how much labor is going to cost, things like that. If you could switch. So for the construction side of things, we need to find out if they need to make a big building or separate houses for assisted living. We need to find available construction companies and weigh the costs. And we need to find insurance costs. Next. Whoa.
Surprise.
We have to, so for competition, we're finding other facilities that provide the same services, and we're finding out how much they charge for their rooming and for their services, for their labor and things like that. And the last one. The last one this is going to be the hardest. We have to find the available labor for this because there's not a lot of labor. Salmon is a very small city, and Lemhi is a very small county. And there's only 2 memory care facilities in the whole county, and they both have a lot of vacancies
vacancies, so it's going to be hard to find, if you're going to have enough people to provide enough of revenue for them to run the facility, and enough people to provide the labor to assist those in need. So that's where we're at right now.
Any questions or comments about their project?
Anything other than the backgrounds? That's my bad.
I thought the background change was cool. You know, it's like, well, cool.
Yeah,
Blue light.
keep it interesting.
White screen down your eyes.
That guy who falls.
Okay.
Would be perfect.
You did good. You did good.
Thanks.
What is a memory facility? Like, so that's not like related to this. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with assisted living and memory care facilities, it's two different things to where, there we go. Assisted living is like helping people get around and whatnot, like people who have fallen and broken their hips and things like that. Memory care is dealing with Alzheimer's, dementia, people who are forgetting things. So they need extra care and support from that. So anyone who works there who's like a special RN nurse or who's applied and has been certified is obviously going to be paid more. So there's a difference between those two. Only problem that we're running into is not a lot of people up in that area need it. So we don't know if it's going to be cost effective for them.
Yeah, there's only 2 facilities right now in Lehigh County, which is where Salmon is, and they're both 9 miles apart from each other. And the other one we called, they have basically half of the rooms are empty, and so we're kind of worried that there's not a huge demand for it. And so we're going to try to figure out how they can best use their land to expand.
Yeah, that's definitely not a great sign. And sometimes our research projects say, hey, this is great. Sometimes it's like, yeah, don't do this.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem with that is that they already bought their land to expand. And so if we have to tell them they can't use it, then it's just they can make a park or something. True, yeah. That's true. We can make that recommendation.
I was thinking a splash pad, but yeah.
So, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Civic review.
Civic review. No, that's what you.
All right, so civic review. Oh wait, okay. Civic review is
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure you wanted to go. You want to stay here?
Sure, it's fine. Civic Review is a company based in Ogden. It's a small business, and our employer, or the guy who's telling us what to do, he's having us conduct surveys for people looking for an online solution to business. What is it? Business.
Licensing.
Yeah, licensing. Right. So that's all we do is we find out if there's a market for it, if there's a demand for it, and find out if people are looking for an easier solution online. Yeah.
So the scope, pretty much, we trying to figure out why he want to do this business and how. And some of the things we came up with to determine which feature are the most beneficial to our online permit licensing, and create a clear and concise report for all money in order to help the client know the best to expand his business, and then how is to create and send out a survey to potential customers to determine what systems are already in place and receive input of what improvement that they would like, and also organize and evaluate and return data and create a presentation stating the findings.
Okay, so basically what we've done so far is we've created 2 surveys. One is for cities who've already have like an online solution for buying business licenses. And then the other are for cities that don't have that. So The one kind of asks them what they would want more than what they have, and then the other one just talks about like why they haven't moved on. If it's a budget thing, or if the solutions they've looked at doesn't have everything that they want. So yeah, we've just created that, and we just sent out our first group of emails to like 150 people. We have a list. Our population is the United States, so we have a list of like 1,000 cities, and we selected random.
Questions?
How are you guys going to split that down?
Yeah, so our list was given to us, so that helps.
Yeah, we didn't make it. It was given to us.
Yeah, our client gave us the list. So yeah, we're just choosing randomly from that group, just to get as many as we can. So.
Do you know how we got that list, or what the list is of, or just people?
He
Sounds kind of sketchy. See how we got a list.
He created it. So this is how the list was made. He looked at different cities online for their departments and like got the people's information.
Okay.
So like who's in charge of the department, try to get that information. So like family number, email.
That's cool.
And I know that he was looking at the sizes of the city, like cities that had 50,000 and under in population, because he figured that would kind of determine whether they got online because of the budget that they have also. So.
Very cool. It's kind of like the student camp project, except for he did the email getting for you guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other questions or comments? Or? Okay, thanks. Okay. Who wants to go next? Yeah. What team?
Captiva.
Huh?
Captiva.
Captiva. Okay, sorry.
So Captiva is a really unique business, I guess. Their offering is not to the whole world. The population that they sell to is really hospital financial people, revenue analysts, people that verify the integrity of revenue streams between insurance companies and hospitals. And so we have a really unique challenge here with Captiva. Go ahead to the next one. So our scope is, like I said, it's unique. It's a lot like everyone else's. We're doing a business review to see if their message comes across clearly, if their advertising is up to par. We're figuring out new ways that they can advertise, and we're running competitive analyses. However, the population that Captiva and their competitors are scoping for is not the population of the United States. It's only those people that work in hospitals and maintain the integrity between insurance revenue streams and hospital revenue streams. So that took our sample size from here and just down to the eye of a needle. So we branched out in a couple different directions. First, we went through their website and we did a SWOT analysis of it. We're currently working on their SEO, their search engine optimization. This one was really interesting up here. We're determining what mediums are best for advertising to their niche. For example, Facebook pages, I'm in charge of that. And Facebook doesn't seem to be like a really good platform to advertise for Captiva. Associations, groups of CFOs or RCA analysts are very small, like 3 people, not very active. And so from what we're seeing so far, certain avenues are really good for our population and others are not. So we've got to do a cost-benefit ratio analysis there. And we are working to enhance their existing pages.
And to accomplish Captiva's goal, we know that they want to empowering their websites about LinkedIn or YouTube or Google advertising. But first, we are focusing on clarifying the message of their website. So we developed a survey that it was in Qualtrics, UI provide us for free. So we made some questions about the message and the clarity of the websites to professors, to their actual clients and potential clients, and we're still working on people to make this ready. And by the meantime, we develop strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and strengths analysis to make them know what our perspective is about the website.
Okay, so that was time. Do you guys have a lot more? Okay, well, that was it then. Perfect. Perfect. So any questions, comments from you guys? Yeah.
You said there were certain forms of media where you could get these guys and then ones where you couldn't. Did you mention which ones you were able to catch them on, or?
Yeah, so in order to become a certified revenue stream analyst, you need to go take a test, and then once you're certified, you have to take a certain number of continuing education credits, a lot like a doctor has to or an EMT. And so advertising on sites that offer training like that is really effective because the population who visits those websites is only the people that we're looking for.
Right, I guess I'm wondering what were the websites that were for this company?
So the website that probably looked the best was called rcaanalystintelligence.com. They do the most. Roughly 300,000 RCAs get their CUs from them. Right, out of the United States population, the percentage of people that RCAs is like 0.001 or whatever. So 300,000 is a huge grab. Almost all of them.
Did I see a hand over here? Yeah.
Yeah. Said it's kind of hard to contact the specific people and administer the survey to them. How, like a little bit more specifically, how are you making contact and administering the survey to them? Like, what incentive do they have to take the survey? Have you had any trouble, like, getting any hooks,
Yeah, right now our survey ends looking like it's about 153. And to get there, we use primarily LinkedIn and we search by job title to really only get people that we're really looking for. But we also, out of convenience and necessity, we're not only going to survey RCAs, but we're also going to talk to marketing professors and other people that might have an angle onto how their website comes across and is perceived, whether it's introducing their information fairly and accurately and simply.
Well, thank you, guys. Who wants to go next? Yeah, what team?
YMCA.
YMCA. I've actually never been to YMCA before, as sad as that might sound. YMCA. Okay.
Yeah, so our project is the YMCA. So we're working with the staff in the YMCA. They're all pretty new. Most of them are like a year in the job or less than that. So they're all trying to figure out how to get it going. In the YMCA have been a bit slow before they started it. A lot of the program were shut down and they don't have a good, I say, reputation in the community. Like not very many people knows them. So the job right now is to trying to figure out how to get back into the community and get in connection with other schools and businesses that might be able to benefit the people in the community. So far, our primary jobs has been to do research, and write about short stories about the history of the YMCA and how it come about, not just the Idaho Falls, but the whole YMCA around the world. And you also have to write short Facebook posts that we need to post online for the YMCA actual Facebook page to let them know what's going on, what events is coming up. Because right now the website is down, they're still working on it. They're trying to get other way of connecting to the community. So what we've been doing so far is we have to create at least 3 Facebook posts for the week to send to everyone to post online to the Facebook page, and then gathering the information about the YMCA, and then to write at least 3 to 5 stories about the YMCA, the history of it, what's been happening, what they've been doing in the community, and what's the plan for the future. And then in the future, we're also trying to contact other business place in the Idaho Falls community that the YMCA can connect with to create small program for the youth in the community. And then this is just an example of one of the Facebook posts that we created for the Y. And then we learned that we have to add the YMCA logo sign to everything that we post. So that's one of the things in the future we'll be doing, to add the YMCA logo to every post that we make. If you click on the link, this is just one of the example of the stories that we write and send out. There might be more than one in there. So this is what they've been doing. This is the camp, where they go. I mean, this is not just one page. This is probably 3 to 4 stories, and that's it. Yeah. So this is all the stories we've been creating about, and some pictures and stuff in it. So that's where we're at with our research and stuff, and we continue to create those posts. And we've practically been following what the camp director is telling us, the YMCA director. Like, she has specific things that she wants us to do, so we're basically following her guidelines.
Very cool. Any questions or comments that individuals have? That's pretty well outlined you guys' scope and then how you went about doing it. So cool. Yeah, thanks. Who wants to go next? Looks like we have 3 more in the blank. Yeah. What group are you in?
Stupid.
Stucan.
All right, so my group is involved with Stukin. They're doing some research as far as marketing professors, people that teach in that field. We've been asked to collect and make a list of different professors specifically that teach in the marketing research departments, but marketing and even some business management is fine for that as well.
as well. Excuse me. We've been asked to develop a survey to determine how much they feel like they're getting out of their current curriculums, their current textbooks in their courses, with the intent of improving upon that, or just seeing what might be needed, what are some gaps that student can fill with that. So our methodology here, we go to different faculty, university websites. They're usually a page with faculty. And so we look for the professors in the marketing division. And we're usually able to find a good batch of professors per site. There are some other sources that we're considering because the university websites have most of that information readily available from some of the top schools in the nation. This is just for the United States, by the way. We're exhausting that first before we're delving into some of these other ones. We're exploring looking at other online faculty directories that aren't tied to the actual websites, and maybe even reaching out in our own personal networks to see if they would be interested as well. So here's an example of the spreadsheet that we're working on right now. We have about 200 names so far in a little less than a week. Next slide. So like I said, we have about 200 unique emails. Our goal is to have 500 by next week, which we see as being very reachable. We would like to get much more than that. We'll have an updated goal by next week, how many we want to ultimately end up with before we start moving into designing the survey. We do have kind of a framework formulated already. Most of the challenges we've seen so far with this project, there are some university websites that require you to be logged into the site to be able to access the professor's email, which is understandable. So we're running into that for a few schools. We also are debating whether we should be including different types of professors, whether they're assistant or understudy professors, emeritus, adjunct. We're talking about whether they should be included or if it's not really what we're looking for as far as the target. So I believe that's it. Any questions?
What was the target again?
So marketing research professors.
Marketing them, I'm wondering, what are you selling them?
So
Marketing research, they teach marketing research.
Right, they teach marketing research. We're sending them a survey to ask them how satisfied they are with their curriculum material, like their textbooks. So that survey is going to gauge that, and then I'm assuming they're going to take that and design their product around it to kind of keep it.
Does SUKIT have a example of what they are offering?
Not that I know of on hand. I could probably get one though, if you're interested.
I'm just wondering, I am, but I'm just wondering if these professors would want to see what SUKIT has before they can answer the question if they need more or not.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. I will get in contact with them and see if that's something that they can give us to kind of include in the survey. We haven't quite reached the survey portion of the project yet, but thank you for that. That's something we'll look into for sure. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so looks like we have 2 more groups. Who wants to go? If not, then I'm just going to choose. Okay, so Limhi. Is anybody here from the Limhi team? No? How about the cryptocurrency team? Yeah.
Hey, look back up.
Block builder.
I took it all. Yeah.
That's okay. Fun fact, here at the RBDC, 2 of the project managers are very heavily involved in cryptocurrency. We both mine. We got a lot of miners.
Okay, so basically we're doing cryptocurrency. The company that's given this to us is Block Builder. It's the CTO is in contact with us. His name is Jared. So basically, I didn't have much time to get this together. I just got added to the team. This is what I basically got together. So we're looking at ICOs and what affects their initial, like the initial introduction of cryptocurrencies. Like like how an IPO works. Basically, this is for cryptocurrency and what drives their prices. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're trying to find out. So the next slide. Okay. Yeah. So Bitcoin is currently one of the most famous cryptocurrencies. So basically, from what I read recently yesterday, the main reason that cryptocurrency actually became big was the value that people put on it. So initially, when Bitcoin came out, like just a few group of people just used it, so it wasn't worth much. But then when WikiLeaks started using it as a form of payment, like people started like actually making use of it and like thinking it's worth it. So the next slide. So these are a few of the main driving factors behind the change in prices of cryptocurrency. So the difficulty level. So basically, as most of you all may know, they mine Bitcoin. You can't exactly just like generate it. You got to mine it. So the amount of work put in through mining it. So the mining it is basically they kind of solve some kind of math calculations, something online, and that's how they mine Bitcoin. So the higher the difficulty of these calculations or whatever, the more value Bitcoin has. Utility. So just like how we use paper money and different like currencies all over the world, the higher the utilities, the more things people use it for. It depends on how much value people actually give to a cryptocurrency. The more value they give to it, the more uses they have for it, the more expensive it becomes. The same thing with public perception, like how the dollar is one of the most stable currencies is because of their gold reserves and the way that people believe it's a stable currency and the way those things work. Cryptocurrency basically works in the same way. It's not exactly hackable because a lot of people, they have in their minds that banks have like problems, they mess up, stuff like that. So basically, in people's minds, cryptocurrency is like you can't hack it, like you can't mess around with it. The value of what cryptocurrency is how much value you're going to get. And another thing, so the price of Bitcoin, it acts like a reserve currency. So people kind of mark other cryptocurrencies according to the price of Bitcoin and how it rises and falls. So that's it. And next slide.
Well, that was the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments from people?
Yeah, we want to see the next slide.
It's just like a few cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So one of my questions is, how are you guys going about doing this research of ICOs?
So
because it wasn't really outlined in the
so actually I just found out about that. So
Okay.
So basically from what I know so far, what we're planning to do is we're looking at different articles all over the internet and trying to find out different factors that actually affect Bitcoin, and we're putting it in an Excel sheet, and we're taking different cryptocurrencies and seeing how those act towards those parameters for the
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are kind of collecting a bunch of data.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I just got added to the team like last week, so they're still trying to figure it out.
Where are your team members?
I have no idea. I just showed up.
So just so you know, I used to be part of this project, but I had to switch, fortunately, but I was really excited about this one. So I just wanted to ask, have you looked at the history of some of the cryptocurrencies and things like that? Because I know, for example, Ethereum started with an ICO.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that led to them being very successful. So if you like look at any others and see like, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't.
I honestly just started like on maybe Sunday evening, so I'm still wrapping my head around this whole thing, trying to figure it out. I just got added to the team, so I'm not sure.
I think basically with this project, they're trying to find what makes like best practices for ICOs, like what makes one successful, what makes one not successful.
Yeah, so
that'd be good too. Yeah. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I think that's everybody. Are there any teams that haven't gone yet? People here who represent a team? We are online. Play video. Oh, thank you, online people. Oh, that is a big video.
Watch this movie for 3 hours.
Yeah, we could just put it on the drive and watch it later.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Well, this is public to everybody to see, so you can view that later. It's still processing, so we can't view it inside of it. And downloading that's gonna take like 20 minutes. So thank you all people for doing that though. That was really good. A good work around changing the title of the slide or the title of the document. Yeah. It's very clever. So thank you for all the people who presented. Hopefully we were able to learn from each other, different ways to say things or show things. These presentations were in a lot of different types of formats, and that's totally good, totally fine. Inside the intern resource folder, we do have a standardized format that we want the final deliverable to be in. So you can do stuff in Google Sheets and all that, however you want. Just at the end, you can copy and paste it into the final deliverable template. That is inside training, presentations, and template. Has a bunch of different copies. Some of these are in Word, some of these are PowerPoint, some are in Google Sheets. And you can view them just so we can have a standardized thing with our logo on it or whatnot. Yes.
What are those due?
The final deliverable is due. It's due week 10. This is going to be the rough draft. We're then going to be doing some practice presentations that you'll do with your student mentor, as well with us, and then we will be revising them during these last 2 weeks. And then you're going to deliver that presentation in front of your client, either via a Google Hangout session or live in person during week 13. So hopefully this is kind of helping you guys get started, getting the juices flowing, and hopefully you can either use these slides or some of the slides or modify some of them to fit the actual final presentation. Does that make sense? Any questions about this? Yeah.
Not about this, but about tracking your time.
Yeah.
I saw on the sheets that it was like one specific team. Is there one for each team, or is that?
Yes. So for time tracking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be inside your go ahead.
I saw where the folder is in our group, but nothing's in there.
Really, what are you guys? Meadows Living. It's right here. Yeah, so it should be right there. If you don't see it, you can come talk to me, and maybe like some weird type of like thing where it didn't copy over, like you don't have permissions to it. Sometimes stuff like that happens. Okay. Yeah, but that is it for today. Just try to get lots of research done, and get up to date with that. Is that cool? And thank you for joining us online, people. And that video will be online for those who want to watch the online presentation that they created for us.